everyone, in this video we will be exposing the deceptive marketing strategy that happens with some Monat reps in Australia. So if that interests you, please stay tuned. Thank you so much for your support of my previous Monat video where we talk about the reps rank buying and fraud allegations. If you haven't seen it, I will leave it at the end of this video if you want to check it out. For people unfamiliar with Monat, they are an MLM aka multi-level marketing company that sells hair care, skincare, and wellness products. According to the FTC, MLMs are businesses that sell products to family and friends and recruit others to do the same. Thank you to my followers who sent me information and made this video possible. You know who you are. I appreciate all of you. Let's start with what an income claim is, and I quote, "An income claim refers to a statement made by a company or individual that promises or suggests a specific level of income potential, often used in marketing to entice potential customers to purchase a product or service by promising significant earnings, which can be problematic if the claims are exaggerated or misleading." End quote. In MLMs, we often see reps posting about the amount of income they made with their MLM. Sometimes they will say a specific amount, but other times they would only say, "It allowed me to pay for my mortgage. It paid for my grocery." One way or the other, these type of income claims are not allowed, even if they are true. It can be reported. I always leave the links to report to the FTC in the description of my videos. At this moment, the Florida Attorney General is still investigating Monat. I also recommend you to report it to them as well. People from other countries can also report to the FTC. You don't need to live in the US to do that. Just a couple of years back, Tina.org, Truth in Advertising, did an investigation into 100 MLM companies, and they found that 98% of the companies misrepresented the amount of money typical participants were likely to earn. Misrepresentations that are tremendously harmful to consumers.
What's so beautiful about network marketing is you don't have that overhead. You know, you have that flexibility, you have that freedom, and there's an unlimited income that you can create.
My first 3 weeks in business, I personally sold $7,500. I earned nearly $2 grand and started advancing in the pay matrix by sharing the opportunity.
One of the things that has just absolutely changed my life through Valara is it's the financial freedom.
15 months after we got started, we actually had enough money to break ground on our dream home that we had on paper for 18 years without a clue how we could afford to build it.
Honest, there were times that we wanted to quit, but we didn't, and here we are.
Newest Millionaire Club members, if we can do it, you can do it.
And I have been able to replace my college teaching income many times over again.
When I first saw it, I'm like, how do you make a living? Because our money's anything. It can be supplemental earnings for you, or it can be lifestyle earnings. It can be your main thing that you do. It is all of ours.
We have an income from Amari, and a substantial income.
Then there's the business side of USANA, which gives you the freedom to spend your time the way you want and create the financial success you've been dreaming about.
Nowadays, there are better ways to work towards your future, to achieve more growth and well-being for your effort, to reach the financial freedom that you have so dreamed of.
And with the freedom, well, there's freedom that's financial, but it's also freedom with your schedule and freedom with your life. It is whatever you want it to be.
You know, Ambit has had an amazing impact on my life, not only financially. You know, what it's done for me financially is freedom.
I was able to quit my full-time job and use my LeBri income to replace the income from my full-time job.
We were able to pay off our home mortgage 24 years early and become completely debt-free, just 9 years into marriage.
And now I've got this 6-figure income that shocks me, I think, more than even my husband, and it allowed us to purchase our dream beach house at the Jersey Shore.
Monat was one of the companies that was investigated. Not only that, Tina sent Monat a letter regarding this investigation. In this letter, there are 2 links. The first one takes you to the whole investigation. The second link takes you to the 2023 Monat Global Income Claims Database. I'll leave the article in the description below in case you want to look at the whole investigation. Let's go with the post. If you see this post, the rep is showing different amounts depending on the rank. It reads, and I quote, income potential monthly average earnings, AUD, which stands for Australian dollar. MP, which stands for market partner, 127. MMP, managing market partner, 593. AMB, associated market builder, 1123. MB, market builder, 1418. MMB, managing market builder, 2261. AMM, associate market mentor, 3589. MM, market mentor, 6938. R rank. MMM, managing market mentor, 13,834. AED, associated executive director, 27,902. ED, executive director, 48,314. SED, senior executive director, 152,209. You might be wondering, but what is wrong with this post? It seems like the income potential in that company is great. A random person looking at this post might think, oh my God, I can make that kind of money? Where do I sign? And that is exactly what MLM reps want. The situation here is these posts, just like the majority of MLM posts on social media from reps, only show half of the truth and it doesn't show you the whole picture. But hey, that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to show you in this video what these reps are hiding and the reason why they hide part of the information. And the reason why they hide part of the information is that if you had the complete information, there's a good chance that you might see through the and look at it for what it is, in my opinion, complete fraud. Before we continue, we need to know what an income disclosure statement is. And I quote, an income disclosure statement, IDS, is a document that details the income earned by a company's sales force. It's often used by direct selling companies and multi-level marketing MLM organizations. End quote. Not all MLMs provide income disclosure statements, but the ones that do normally update it every year. The situation with the income disclosure statements is that the numbers show that the majority of people do not make money or lose money. So in my opinion, if the MLMs who show their income disclosure statement, their numbers are so bad, imagine the ones that don't even show any income disclosure statement. So if you are in an MLM and you ask for the income disclosure statement and they don't have one, that alone should be a huge red flag. The majority of reps don't know about the income disclosure statement. And in my opinion, this is no coincidence because if you show a person the income disclosure statement, there's a good chance that they would not join the MLM. After all, the numbers don't lie. Now back to the post. There's something very interesting about this post. I went to the Monat income disclosure statements for Australia and the numbers didn't match. Interesting. I look at the income disclosure statements from the US and the numbers didn't match either. I was very intrigued on where these numbers were coming from. So I asked the person who shared this with me and they said that the Australian reps were using the US income disclosure statement but converting it to Australian dollars. But my question is, if they're selling the business opportunity in Australia, wouldn't it make sense to use the Australia income disclosure statement from 2022 instead of using any of the income disclosure statements from the US and then having to do all the exchange conversion? I will expose the real numbers for Australia and I will show you how you can read an income disclosure statement because just like the comp plans, the income disclosure statements can be confusing and they do this intentionally, in my opinion, so that you don't see the reality of what they are showing. Let's break down the income disclosure statement for Australia and I'll tell you what you need to pay attention to. I believe that Monat is highlighting the average so that your eyes focus on that and ignore the rest. But from all the numbers that they're showing, the column that we should be looking at is the median. This applies to all income disclosures from MLMs. Always look for the median because that is the most realistic outcome in MLMs. The second thing that it's very important to see is the percentage of reps who are in the rank so you can see if it's something that could be achievable or not. So I like to put both of those columns together to avoid the distraction of the rest of the numbers. According to the migration, and I quote, the average salary in Australia is approximately 100,000 annually, 1,996.40 weekly, 43.50 per hour. On the other hand, the average salary for entry-level positions allocated is 69,801 per year, while for most experienced workers, it is up to 138,419 per year. End quote. I will also leave this article in the description below in case you want to check it out. But let's get the worst case scenario. Let's say you are a person who is looking for an entry-level position to make it easier for all of us. Now let's go back to the income disclosure statement and see how many people in Monat Australia are making more than 70K per year. So for you to make just a little over 7,000 Australian dollars, you have to be at the MLM level. This means the 0.03% of the company, not the 3%, the 0.03% of the company. And I remind you that these numbers do not include the money that you are spending month by month in Monat. It does not include the trips. It does not include any other fees or expenses. But I like to go even deeper. And let's see how many people are making less than 70,000 per year in Monat Australia. Let's add all the percentages. So market partner 94.20, managing market partner 3.20%, associate market builder 1.00%, market builder 0.51%, managing market builder 0.66%, associate market mentor 0.30%, and market mentor 0.11%. So you got 99.98% of people in Monat Australia making less than what they would be making if they had an entry level job. As you can see in the Australian income disclosure statement, 94.20% of people in the first rank are making zero. Let's break down the numbers in the second rank. You got 2,165 Australian dollars per year. We're going to break it down into part-time and full-time. So 2,165 divided by 12 months equals 180 Australian dollars per month, and 180 divided by 4 weeks equals 45 Australian dollars per week. 45 divided by 20 hours equals 2.25 Australian dollars. That would be if you're working Monat part-time. 45 divided by 40 hours equals $1.12 Australian dollars per hour. That would be if you're working Monat full-time. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, the average hourly wage in Australia is currently around $39.50 per hour. So if the Monat reps in Australia will put the correct numbers in this post, and let me be clear, this number does not include the expenses that you will have with Monat month by month. And they also state that in the income disclosure statement. Let me read it from there. And it states, and I quote, they do not take into consideration any expenses incurred by market partners in operating their businesses or profits or losses when products are resold by market partners. Nothing more than the 99 Monat starter kit is required to open and operate a Monat business. Expenses incurred in operating an independent Monat global business may include, but are not limited to, the purchase of a starter kit, payment of renewal fees, purchases of product samples or inventory, shipping costs, transportation costs, training and educational expenses, and travel expenses. In some cases, the costs and expenses may exceed the amount earned by market partners from Monat Global. I'll repeat it. In some cases, these costs and expenses may exceed the amount earned by market partners from Monat Global. Monat Global makes no guarantee of financial success, and you may lose money. I'm going to repeat it again for the people in the back. Monat Global makes no guarantee of financial success, and you may lose money. We know that success in Monat is either you were there in the beginning when the company started, or you have a large following. Those are the only ways that you can succeed. Do you think if they put the real numbers in the post, anybody would want to join their MLM? Of course not. This is why I encourage everyone to ask questions and ask for their sources of information so you can do your research and not just believe everything that MLM reps tell you, because the majority of them also believe their upline and think they are telling them the truth. And in the majority of the cases, the uplines are lying. The majority of uplines at the top are there because they are great liars. I do believe that that some people at the top can be unaware of what's happening, but based on the experience of all the people who have left the MLMs, who have reached top ranks, say that at some point you start to see the reality of what's going on. And that's when they end up leaving, because they cannot live with themselves now knowing what's happening at the top. The ones that choose to stay at the top now knowing what's happening, they are also part of the problem. And we also saw that, especially in the Monat rank buying video. That's what happens at the top of a lot of MLM companies, in my opinion. So the next time that you see posts like this or this, you already know what to do. Ask for their sources, do your own research, break down the numbers, and see for yourself if this business opportunity is as good as they want to make you believe it is. If you see any income claims online from Australian Monat reps, you can report them to the Florida Attorney General, the FTC, and in Australia, you can report them to the ACCC and ScamWatch. I will leave all the links in the description below. Last but not least, if you want to follow other anti-MLM content creators from Australia, please check the following accounts. I'll also leave them in the description below. Thank you everyone in Australia for all the work that you guys are doing and for adding your voices to this movement. This video was my opinion and for educational and entertainment purposes. I'll leave all my sources in the description below. Like I always say, don't believe everything that people say. Question everything and everyone, including me. Let the evidence tell you what's real or not. It means a lot that you took the time to watch my video. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me to know what kind of content you'd like to see more of. If you found this video helpful, share with someone who might need it and help us reach more people. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing for more anti-MLM content. The best thing about YouTube videos is the comments, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. This also helps the algorithm reach more viewers. As you know, this is a brand new channel. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Until next time, take care and stay safe.